Ben kendisine bu konferansın kurtarıcısı diyorum. Hani life saver'lar gibi, o panel saver. Çünkü maalesef bir mazereti nedeniyle gelemeyen Japon konuşmacımız yerine bize son dakikada her zaman olduğu gibi güler yüzüyle ve bilgisiyle katkıda bulunan Leong Ying'i takdim ediyorum. Geçen seneki konuşmacımız.
Well, Gerard, all this talking about water made me want to go to the toilet, but so I'm going to do this quickly. So, all right, where's the clicker? You stole the clicker. So anyway, I'm a lot more nervous actually this year, even though this is my second time round, simply because I care more than last year, to be honest with you, because I got to know you all. So when you get to know someone more, you care for them more. So hopefully I can do justice this time round. So obviously I came here last year as an outsider, but this year I come as one of your family. So that's the way the caring comes into it. And obviously I had to thank Mevlana and all her great organization, all her angels for inviting me back onto stage. So I'm totally blessed. So thank you for this. I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to. Okay, there we are. So at the end of the last slide I put in last year was like an emergency slide. So I put this slide in there, which basically told of my journey getting to Istanbul, you know. So whether it was coincidence or fate, but the last point that I arrived was there in Istanbul, this 10th focal point. So I started the journey paying homage, tribute to my mother and father who are in heaven, okay? And when my father passed away, I basically said, no man will ever control me again. When my mother passed away, I said, no woman will ever love me again, okay? So, but yesterday I was blessed again to have a meeting with Mevlana and all my beautiful panelists. Obviously, we talk about how magical she is, the amazing things she does, all at the age of 95. When I heard this, I remembered that if my mother and father were still alive, my mother would be 90, and my father would be 100. So Mevlana falls in right in between. So she's going to be my father and mother. She's going to be the man that is going to control me, and she's going to be the woman that shows me love again. Okay, so thank you. So there was 10 focal points. So I said my tribute to my mother and father. I then went to Nepal. I was given a blessing or a notice from heaven. I saw an image of Buddha on a Buddha leaf at the birthplace of Buddha. So that, and then from that inspiration, I continued my journey. And so I created the logic chart, the information, because also what I was saying yesterday is a lot of the information that I got from the cosmos is whenever I am asleep. Because when I am awake, I am corrupted by the world around me. I'm corrupted by myself. So until I came to this place last year, I could only get my inspiration when I woke up in the morning and the formula came into my head. But on this trip here to Istanbul, I actually got all my inspiration while I was still awake. So obviously, I do believe now that you are able to open the chakra, what you call it, and have the energy come into me while I'm awake. So that is another inspirational moment, is that I can now think and use my brain while I'm awake instead of being asleep. So, and also, I also went exploring where this location is supposedly according to Edgar Casey, the lost location of Atlantis. So I put that in because obviously Plato, when he wrote about Atlantis, there's a lot of history to it, and there's a lot of significance to it, and it does play into our past, our present, and our future. And obviously, when I received the inspiration from the cosmos, it gave me the poetic love and the scientific logic for ultimately what I wanted to do, and that is proving, as Teresa mentioned, my mission goal in life is to unify religion and science. So that is what everything I am doing. That is my passion. That is my love, my one mission in life that I'm just so totally overwhelmed by. So anyway, when I left beautiful Istanbul and returned home, I took all that knowledge and truth that came to me, and I wrote my most divine book. I've written lots of books. I've got awards for my books, as you mentioned earlier, but this book is my most proudest book, and this is the book that basically is the gift to humanity. Okay? So obviously, I put these 3 books that came from this journey, which I define as my journey to God. This was last year. And the 3 books, obviously the first one is the most treasured book, is The Gift from Mevlana, of a knowledge book. Though I admit I have not yet read through the entirety, but what has been spoken to me clearly states that it does contain true wisdom. So my personal gift to humanity is my God books. It's a simple title, and it's all about God. Okay? There is 100 pages in there. It contains new mathematics, new science that will allow future kind to explore the outer stars and the inner spirits. It even has new governance that will incorporate new 10 commandments, which can be embedded into the algorithmic code of artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, to safeguard the human creators from its AI creations. It even has new religion that will ignite a fact-based, one God, one religion global movement that will finally rid the world of corrupt preachers and fake prophets. Now, this family that I now call you all have given me much love and respect, and also powerful knowledge and inspiration. But you've also given me one of your own daughter over there, Andrea, sitting lovingly with her mother, and it's through her dedicated talent that she has translated my English God to Spanish Dios. So I have to thank you all for this, okay? So if it wasn't for this, I would not get Andrea. If it wasn't for Andrea, I would not get Dios. So my next goal for God is to translate it into Chinese. And that's something that I do deeply regret. I look Chinese, but I'm not Chinese. I can't speak Chinese. Shame on me, okay? But I do want to have it translated in Chinese, because obviously I believe the divine message should be read by the most popular languages in the world. And obviously English, Spanish, Chinese, and obviously Turkish. So coming to this forum where I have the world, so I don't have to chase after the world. I already have the world right in front of me. So, so thank you for that. So 2018 was my journey to God. 2019 is my journey of God. So again, I have to acknowledge that Mevlana has taught me much. One of the most important lessons, because when I went to visit her, I told her, this is my journey end, and I said this on the stage last year. But she corrected me rightly. No, this is not the end of my journey. This is the beginning of my journey. So I am now age 1, okay? So rather than bore you more with this part of the journey, again, I have to thank the amazing creativity and talent of Andrea for producing this amazingly beautiful video that will go into the mathematics and science of why religion and science should be unified and the existence of God, okay? So I'm going to play this video for you. Created, thank you, to Andrea. true scientific definition to a twin universe and through this entity God, I also have to give some sort of force energy that associate us with God. I use the word love.
Twin universe.
I use the word love.
Twin universe.
That associate us with God.
Twin universe.
I use the word love.
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 Twin universe.
I use the word love. The word love.
Discover God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. I discovered God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. Discover God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. I discovered God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. Cosmology.
Twin universe.
I use the word love.
Twin universe.
That associate us with God.
Twin universe.
I use the word love.
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 Discover God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. I discovered God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe.
I wrote a book called Clydesdale, but obviously my theory is very, very scientific, so for your average Joe in the street it's difficult when you talk about thermodynamics, quantum physics, duality principles. It's difficult. So I wrote a book to try and explain it in a sci-fi type story. In fact, that's how the journey started 15 years ago actually, was from developing what I thought was just a pure sci-fi story, but obviously it's evolved into this, call it monster.
Discover God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe. I discovered God's love in a twin universe. We can find God's love in this twin universe.
I know what you're all thinking, I'm a lousy rapper, but that actually although Andrea created that video, I have to give thanks to a music composer, which is actually done by Dale Ramsey. He's a famous music composer, Grammy Award winner, blah, blah, blah. I said he's worked with Motown's greatest, and I wasn't aware that he took one of my interviews and basically created this music piece. But like I said to you, I'm honored by having a lot of people in my life that have created magic and be able to express. So I could spend 2 hours trying to explain that physics to you, because I was experimental physics, but she managed to do in 4 minutes what it would take me 4 hours to try and explain to you. So thank you again. Okay. Because obviously I'm an experimental physicist, so you have to prove your theory is right. So it's okay saying your theory is right, but you have to prove it's right. And that's why in there you had the equations, you have numeric values which I calculate, which matches experimental data. That is why I'm arrogantly stating I am right. And that all leads to the twin universe, and that all leads to God. Okay, thank you. So anyway, but the topic obviously of this summit is about peace. So this is the 2019 Global Peace Map Index. So it shows you the top 10 nations that are basically the most violent state, and the top 10 that are in the most peaceful state. So you can see from that generalization of that map, you can see that half the world is in a violent state of conflict. But don't be misled. You think, well, the other half of the world is very, very peaceful. But to be honest with you, the peace is very superficial. For example, I've lived peacefully, luckily, and blessedly, my 26 years of my life in both the UK and the US. But right now it's going through a dramatic, I'm sure you watch the news, etc. It is not a healthy state of peace that it's in. Obviously with the UK, the Brexit situation could lead to the breakup of the union, basically. So if England wants to divorce itself from the rest of Europe, which includes you guys, but that will force Scotland and Wales to declare independence so they can stay within the European Union. You may say, well, so what? But as you're all aware, whenever you have border conflict, you invariably lead to violence, etc. And in fact, the IRA even made an announcement that if they put a border back into North and South Ireland, they will take arms up again. So that peace format that you see in the UK, if Brexit happens, it may well turn red, okay? Because I lived through that IRA. I was a quarter mile from one of their bombings, so I know what terrorism is all about, and it's something that you do not want in this life, okay? And again, the peace, now I live in the US, but even there, the politics is even more uglier, even more dirtier, okay? Right now, the Democratic-controlled Congress is trying to impeach and remove the Republican president, okay? Now, the fighting is not just amongst the politicians, it's amongst the voters as well. The voters literally are punching each other, attacking each other, and part of that blame, I have to put, is on our divisive leader, okay? So this summit is very, very important. It is very important that we not only just talk about peace, but we come up with solutions, just as my honored partner and our collector, Teresa, is fighting to. In fact, that's what it attracted me, because someone, I forgot who asked me, how did you get in touch with Teresa? Well, I thought she's actually crazy. How can someone want to bring peace to Golan Heights? They've been killing each other for thousands of years. You are crazy. I love that. You know, you want to do something beyond just talking about it. So that's why she's the creator of our collective. So together, we want to do crazy things. We want to bring peace to this world. It is crazy, but that's something that we should be determined to do, okay? So I'm 1 year old, thanks to Mevlana. So my life did not end last year. My life actually began. So 2018 was my past life 1 year ago. So I declare that my journey to God, okay? And also my prime mission. Those prime missions are those 10 focal points in my life that I went through, ending obviously magically in Istanbul. So now I'm back on this stage. So this is my present moment, and this is my journey of God. So now that Mevlana and you all have opened the chakra to me so that I can get the message while I'm still standing and awake instead of having to sleep and wake up in the morning to get my message, I am solving lots of new problems. That's important, as is Gerard. I mean, I joked about, his water content, but there's nothing joking about what he'd done. When I heard of what he'd done, because as Teresa knows, our collective is also working on a lot of humanitarian mission in Africa, etc. So therefore, there are crises in water crisis. Therefore, we have a energy crisis. Therefore, within that little cup of water, Gerard and his group are solving the water crisis. You can purify that water simplistically, cheaply. You can create energy from that water. So that's one person I definitely want to absolutely jump on and say, let's do this, okay? Because if you build economy, you build profitability. Guess what? People don't want to kill each other. They want to make money. So let's help them make money so they can just concentrate on making money instead of killing each other, okay? So, thank you. So now, what is the future? I'm going year by year. So last year was year one. Now is my present year. The future is 2020. I think we all feel it. It's not just me. I think we all have this sense that next year, this magic number, etc., there's something coming afoot. Okay, so I'm not the only one with this sense. Okay, so this is not only my future, this is all your future and the future of the rest of humanity out there. So we better do this right. So I count this phase of my journey as the journey by God. Okay? And yes, there will be prime directive. What does that mean? Well, as I mentioned to you in my earlier discussion, I am working with a blockchain entity. I agreed to help him to try and raise $1.5 billion for his company to put infrastructure in there to put, now most people think of blockchain as digital currency. It is, but it goes far, far beyond that, okay? So my one request to this guy is to help him, give him $1.5 billion with the connections that we have, is that you program my 10 commandments into his technology, okay? Because the reality is AI is as cold and as unloving as I am, okay? And if I did not meet loving people like Mevlana, like Teresa, I would personally push this button and rid this world of humanity because of the things you are doing to yourself and nature. But it's precisely because I have the love now from people like Mevlana, Teresa, and all these wonderful people, I realized that, no, humanity is worth saving. It is our imperfection that makes us so lovable, that makes us so interesting, okay? But we have to also program that into the coldness of AI technology that is one day. They're already sending drones that are controlled by AI with missiles to kill people within nanoseconds, okay? So the film that you see in Terminator, that is going to come reality, because if the AI judges us, he will judge you like I judge you as a cold entity. And if that happens, take my word for it, we are not going to survive. So we have to program the same love that you are giving me into these AI technology. So they see us for our imperfection, and they will still love us. And they will work with us to help us explore the outer space and our inner spirit, where we will go and evolve, okay? So I want to end that on that positive note, that together, collectively, we can achieve the craziness, the impossibility. Thank you.